There are places that maps can't reveal, not because they're lost, but because we've never seen them for what they are. These aren't your typical wonders. They're surreal landscapes where nature hides its greatest creations. In China, Wulingyuan stone pillars rise like natural skyscrapers, ancient towers linked by sky bridges suspended above the clouds. On the far side of the earth, in Utah, glowing red rocks shape Moab's otherworldly canyons, sculpted by wind and time. Then, just when you believe you've seen it all, Ireland's Cliffs of Moher appear. Towering stone walls cleave from the earth itself. These aren't just hidden natural wonders. They're nature's most breathtaking secrets. Moab. Moab feels like Earth's memory of another planet, an alien realm sculpted by time. Here, fiery red sandstone curves and cracks, as if the ground once shuddered with ancient breath. Cliffs rise like monuments, carved by wind and water into impossible shapes. At sunrise, some say the rocks creak and groan, as if exhaling with the dawn. The wind plays ghostly notes through narrow canyons, and deep inside, you can lose all sense of direction. Compasses twitch and silence grows thick. At night, strange flickers dance close to the ground, like the desert is alive with hidden energy. In Moab, the veil between worlds feels thin. Teton Range. The Teton Range looms like sleeping giants, their peaks slicing skyward nearly 13,800 feet from the earth below. Formed around 9 million years ago by a powerful geological fault, these mountains rise almost vertically from flatlands. No foothills, just raw, sudden elevation. Snow clings to the peaks year-round, while shifting sunlight paints the slopes in changing colors with every season. At night, mysterious flashing lights have been seen on the peaks, strange events that science hasn't yet explained. The Tetons are home to rare wildlife and remain one of the last untouched mountain wildernesses in North America. Thanks to strict conservation, their raw beauty is protected. For those seeking pure, wild nature, this is where Earth still feels ancient and alive. Owl Creek Pass. Want to escape the crowds? Check out Owl Creek Pass in Colorado. Tucked over 10,000 feet up in the San Juan Mountains, this place is tough to reach, but that's what makes it epic. Think massive peaks, endless forests, deep valleys, and no tourists. It's perfect for hikers, campers, and anyone craving real wilderness. Bonus? It's a hot spot for wildlife and scientific studies too. With no major development, Owl Creek Pass stays peaceful and wild, exactly how nature intended. Perito Moreno. Perito Moreno is one of the most awe-inspiring glaciers on Earth, stretching nearly 19 miles and towering over 230 feet above the lake. Its icy surface glows turquoise under the sun, casting a surreal shimmer that feels like something out of a dream. What makes this glacier truly special is that, unlike most, it hasn't retreated. It holds its ground year after year. Now and then, massive ice walls fracture and collapse into the water below with a roar that echoes like thunder, sending waves rolling across the lake. This isn't just a glacier. It's a living monument, a frozen titan that stirs the soul. For Argentina, Perito Moreno is more than a natural marvel. It's a symbol of resilience and national pride. Haleakala. Haleakala is a national park in Hawaii anchored by a dormant volcano towering over 10,000 feet. At sunrise, the crater floods of clouds, glowing like a sea of fire and mist, like the earth is exhaling light. The landscape, black rock, red soil, and sweeping volcanic ash, feels more Martian than earthly. In local lore, this is where the demigod Maui lassoed the sun to slow its path across the sky. The weather shifts in moments, warm sunlight, cold mist, then back again. Standing here, the silence humbles you. It's like brushing the edge of something ancient, sacred, and entirely otherworldly. Menhow Glacier. Menhow Glacier stretches like a frozen river. 13 miles of ancient snow, crushed into sapphire ice over millennia. Under sunlight, it shimmers like glass, a cold jewel against the sky. Deep within its heart lies shifting ice caves, where sunlight filters through frozen walls, turning darkness into glowing blue wonder. These caves change with every heartbeat of the glacier, never the same twice. Stand in their silence and you'll feel it. The weight of time, the fragility of nature, and the quiet beauty of a world made entirely of ice and light. Tsingy de Bemaraha. Tsingy de Bemaraha is one of Madagascar's most mind-bending landscapes, a razor-sharp labyrinth of limestone peaks sculpted by water and wind over millions of years. Hidden deep in a remote region, reaching it means crossing dense jungle and rough terrain, which only adds to the mystery. But once you arrive, it's like stepping into another world. This place is a scientific treasure trove, home to species found nowhere else on Earth. Tiny lemurs, rare birds, and plants that have adapted to life on stone. For locals, the Tsingy is sacred ground, woven into generations of tradition and spiritual reverence. Exploring it feels like walking through a cathedral built by nature, wild, silent, and absolutely unforgettable. Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is a vast valley framed by mountain peaks soaring over 10,000 feet, showcasing the raw, untamed beauty of the American West. In summer, wildflowers paint the land in vivid color. In winter, deep snow transforms it into a silent white wonderland. Thanks to its bold shape and highland climate, morning fog and frost often roll through, turning the valley into something straight from a dream. Once home to hunters, settlers, and cowboys, Jackson Hole's rugged past lingers in its weathered cabins and small-town charm. Out here, moose, eagles, and even bears roam free. No fences, no zoos. Every moment here feels like a return to something simpler. In Jackson Hole, nature isn't a view, it's a feeling. Santa Catalina Island. Santa Catalina Island rests like a hidden gem just beyond California's shores. Rocky cliffs embrace turquoise bays, while white sands stretch quietly under endless sun. Climb to Mount Orizaba's summit, where the world feels vast and the sea infinite. Forest trails twist like whispers through green hills, leading to hidden lakes and streams. Here, the air smells like salt and pine. The birds sing, and time slows. Catalina isn't just an island. It's nature's invitation to breathe again. Santorini. Ever seen an island that looks like it was sculpted by the gods? That's Santorini, shaped by a volcanic eruption. Its towering cliffs surround a massive underwater crater. At the top, iconic white houses and blue domes that look straight out of a postcard. But this island isn't just pretty, it's ancient. Once a Minoan hub, Santorini is packed with myths and traditions. The sunsets? Unreal. Orange and pink light flood the island every night. And get this, hot gas still rises from its underwater volcano. Santorini isn't just a view, it's living, breathing history. Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Enter the Waitomo Glowworm Caves, where the stars have fallen and now glow beneath your feet. Formed over 30 million years ago from ancient limestone, these chambers were once a seabed, now transformed into a cathedral of silence and stars. Thousands of glowworms drift from the ceiling, weaving a pale blue dream into the dark. Their glow? A rare chemical magic of nature, flickering like ancestral lanterns. In pitch black, you drift by boat along an underground river, as if floating through a sky that forgot it belonged above. Maori legend says the light is to whisper spirits, gentle guides through darkness. Strict visitor limits and no artificial lighting protect this sacred, living galaxy underground. Drift Creek Falls. Hidden deep in Oregon's old-growth forest, Drift Creek Falls drops like a white ribbon from towering cliffs into emerald green. Ancient pines stand guard and thick moss carpets the ground. A 240-foot suspension bridge stretches high over the canyon, giving visitors a perfect aerial view of the waterfall's power. Beneath it, geologists believe ancient sediment layers, cracked by long-forgotten earthquakes, lie buried in stone. Local legend tells of ancestors who once called this a sacred rain-making site. Their voices said echo in the forest mist. Today, conservation groups protect this wild sanctuary, keeping its beauty and its silence intact. Rovinj, Croatia. Rovinj, Croatia is one of the last coastal places in Europe where wild nature and medieval charm still coexist. Perched on a limestone peninsula, its cliffs drop into clear turquoise waters that stay see-through even hundreds of feet out. Narrow alleys wind past stone houses with red roofs, feeling straight out of fairy tale. A legend tells of a statue of the Virgin Mary that washed ashore and refused to be moved, so the locals built a church right where she landed. To this day, strange lights and whispers are said to drift through the village, Rovinj protects its magic fiercely, and you'll feel it the moment you arrive.